we started See My Skills with a global ambition of solving a problem where there was people who have disabilities and employers who are more than willing to employ people with disabilities and bring them both together. And that ambition still resonates with us. But they will succeed. And we've seen it here ourselves. We've employed people who are physically disabled, who are neurodivergent, and they bring a whole different way of thinking to the table.
Absolutely, yeah.
A whole different way of thinking to the table. They're loyal, they turn up on time, they're interested, but they also bring in energy. In Ireland, 63% of people who describe themselves as having a disability are unemployed. The European average is 51%.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference there. There's a gap. So off we went.
So you're very welcome to Cork Creative.
Thank you very much.
So William, can you tell us a little about you, about your background and how you came to found See My Skills?
Okay, so when you say to me, tell me a little. You're going to have to stop me here.
Okay.
So William O'Brien, I'm 57 years of age, born and bred here in Cork. Mum from Macroom and my dad from Glenflesk. I have 5 grown children, 2 girls, 3 boys. The girls are 34 and 19. The boys are in their mid-20s. We have 2 of them living in San Francisco. Shortly 2 will be living in England. And then the youngest is just finished first year in UCD in Dublin, going to second year. Myself, I love the outdoors. I hike every weekend, cycle, swimming, all the usual stuff. And I recently bought a camper van.
Very good.
Yeah. So, and for the summer, I moved down to Garrettstown. I have a mobile home down there.
Lovely. Yeah. Well, with weather like this anyway, you'd be nowhere better. And how did you come to find or found See My Skills?
When I was growing up, there was a young man in our community who was quite active in the community, had an accident. He ended up in a wheelchair and he disappeared out of the community.
Okay.
And as a young person, I could never understand where he went. For someone being so active, next thing, not seeing him around the place. And when I suppose I had my own business, I used to often think about him. And at one stage then, life was going well. My mother was a great believer in blessings. And I thought, spoke to Kathy, who was head of HR with me, saying, we should go out and look for someone who have a different ability or disability.
Okay, yeah.
And bring him in and give them an opportunity for a meaningful life, someone who's unemployed or underemployed, and just do something small.
Okay.
And we began the journey 22 years ago.
Yeah.
And we repeated that process several times, bringing in people with different abilities. And that was the very beginning.
It kind of snowballed. So then from that,
I suppose what happened then is the years rolled on. We developed skills in this whole area. And nearly 3 years ago, I exited the Crane Heart business. And I said to Kathy, I said, you know what? We always found it hard to find individuals with a disability to come in and work with us.
Okay.
And we knew there was employers like us out there who were willing to give people a hand up rather than a handout.
Yeah.
And would, support an individual to build their career. I said, why don't we try and set up an organization that can match the two, employers on one hand and people with different abilities? Because in Ireland, 63% of people who describe themselves as having a disability are unemployed. The European average is 51%.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference there. There's a gap. So off we went. And I suppose when we were thinking about setting up See My Skills, there was great fear. Would it work? What do we know about it? We've no background in education, no background in social care of any description, but we're parents, we're entrepreneurs, we've lived life, and we can see a gap there. And the one thing I fear more than failure is regret.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I didn't want to be an old man sitting in a rocking chair thinking back, I wonder, would that have worked out?
And do you think that you said there about you found it difficult for people to come in, if they had or if they class themselves as having a disability, is that because they had lacked the skills, do you think, as in the motivation to come in to work, or what do you think was the reason behind lack?
Just to be clear, the people we work with are all either in mainstream education or post mainstream education. It could be secondary school or got on to third level education. And what we saw was that for people transitioning from school to work with a disability, quite often that could be quite challenging and stressful. Not just
stressful for a completely able person. Yeah.
But not only stressful for the individuals, but also for their families. And we saw that gap there.
Yeah.
And we felt we could do something about that to fill the gap. And that's where the whole idea started to snowball then for different aspects of See My Skills. Because within See My Skills, we have two different sides. We've got the Empower program, where we take people who are post-mainstream education, who are unemployed or underemployed, and they might have a physical disability, they might have a learning disability or neurodivergent. And we bring them in. There's a kind of a one-on-one program for 6 weeks. And we work with a company called Sigma Recruitment, who totally on volunteer basis support us. And we work with the candidate to find out initially what they'd love to do in life, rather than what they're trained to do. We look at their LinkedIn profile, we looked at their CV, we update that, we do mock interview preparation, mock interview skills with them. And then we start applying with them for jobs. And at the end of the 6 weeks, if they haven't found a role, we set a target of every week they need to report back to us that they've identified 2 jobs and have applied for them.
And go from there.
That's the Empower program. The Accelerator program, which is we work with secondary schools. And this is all about building up the confidence in young people. And when I say secondary schools now, it's transition year students, 5th and 6th years.
The senior cycle, so as such.
Senior cycle. And we have a 4-day program where we take them out of the school. The first day is all about giving them skills and how to quieten the voice in your mind that criticizes you. So if I can give you a simple example, you, me, and 4 others are standing in a photograph. You show me the photograph. The first person I look at is me. And I'm thinking, oh, sweet Jesus, look at the dopey way you're standing. Look at the way your hand is. 2 eyes closed, not just one.
Yeah.
You know, so we give them skills on how to quieten the voice in your mind that criticizes. And the skills are simply, at the end of the day, ask yourself 2 empowering questions. What's one thing I did well today? And what's one thing I could improve tomorrow? The rest of the week then is about opening windows in these teenagers' minds about career opportunities that they may not have thought about. So we bring in the colleges, the PLCs, we bring in entrepreneurs who have had trades or have had no training and have started enterprises. We bring in the guards, the army, and all of these. We also give them workplace experience, like mock interviews. We do a day of barista training, so they bounce home going, I'm a barista, Mum. I'm a barista.
Yeah.
And you can see them standing 6 foot tall.
Yeah. It opens their mind and opens their world a little bit. Yeah.
And the last thing we do, which is very important, is we give them role models to aspire to. So we introduce them to people that look like them, that have the same attributes as them. So they might be neurodivergent, they may be physically disabled, they may have a learning difficulty, or they may just learn differently. And they've built successful careers in enterprise. And that's what we do. Because the last day is a trip to a manufacturing plant, a farm, a dairy, a newspaper, a car showroom. And that's
how it goes.
Yeah.
And growing up yourself with an entrepreneurial father, what distinct advantages or challenges to that family history present as you set on your own path?
Let me kick back to 1943.
Oh, gosh. It's a great year because my father was born in 1943 too.
Well, my dad was 15 years of age and it was the summertime.
Yeah.
And he was above in Dublin visiting his sister, which was a big journey now, Glenflesk to Dublin. And he was walking down the street on his second day in Dublin and he saw a sweet shop. And he went in and he could see that the man was making the sweets in the back room, just behind. And he said to him, I'll work free for you until I go back to Kerry next week if you'll show me how to make the sweets. At 15 years of age. And the man was delighted. Free labour for a week.
Yeah.
Dad went off to Glenflesk and in a little room at the side of the shop, which he grew up in, he started to make sweets and sell them on fair day. And it just went on from there because my dad was involved in plastics and crane hire and waste disposal and plant hire and making toys, all different things over the years. And I
So
suppose,
he was like an do you think he was an inspiration
sure he
to?
was. You couldn't
Absolutely.
but.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't realise it when you were growing
Yeah.
up. But, you know, it was just natural around us all the time.
And did you ever think that it was difficult to go on your own path, or because of his legacy, or it was always just an advantage as opposed to a disadvantage? So was it?
So easy to go down the road that I could never fill those shoes.
Yeah.
So easy to have that kind of thing. But it's really in how you look at it.
Yeah.
Is the glass half full or is it half empty?
Mm.
Poor me or how lucky I am?
Yeah.
And I opted to go down the how lucky I am road. I also opted not to follow my dad in his footsteps, but to go on my own path.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been trying to do. But yes, you do look back and God bless my father. Like, he had such success.
Yeah.
See? But that's my dad on the commercial aspect.
Yeah.
But my dad also showed me how to live.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my dad used to have a camper van.
Yeah.
And he'd say, will you go away for the weekend with me, William? Like, oh, God, I could think of nothing worse going off with my parents at 16, 18 years of age in the camper van for the weekend. Here I am.
I know.
After buying my own camper van. I'll tell you a little story. My dad, when he bought the camper van, initially was 1984. And he was down in Baltimore the very first weekend he had it. And he was cooking breakfast on a Sunday morning for himself and Mum. The next thing he heard a knock. He opened the door. There was no one outside. That's strange. So he kept doing the fry up. 2 minutes later, he heard another knock. He realised it was coming from the large window.
Okay.
So he got out and he went around the side. He says, can I help you? And the man said, what time do you open? Thought it was a chipmunk.
Oh, Jesus, fair play. Good story. How does See My Skills directly address the gap between job seekers with disabilities and potential employers?
So I suppose, as ourselves, we took on people with different abilities. And we use the term different abilities, and there's a whole host of terms: disability, neurodivergent, and I suppose we don't like any of them really, because while we're a charity, See My Skills is a recognised charity, the people we represent are not charity cases. So we refer to ourselves as a social enterprise.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing. And the people we're working with are the same people I sat next to in school in Carrignavara back in the 80s. No one told them back in the 80s they had a disability. You were wild, unruly, you were nerdy, you couldn't learn your sums, you were no good at a language, all these things. You couldn't write for, But today, people are told you're neurodivergent, you're dyslexic, you've dysgraphia. See? And it just takes a small bit of confidence out of these teenagers. Now I have a disability, and I understand why.
Yeah.
If you get it, you get more support.
You get the right support.
But it does take a small bit of confidence away from them. So I suppose the people we're looking to place in industry, 30 years ago, they'd have been going out there applying for these roles themselves, because the people I went to school with were guards, school teachers, labourers, block layers. They work in retail, in hospitality, or entrepreneurs. See? So I suppose if you have an employer listening to this and they'd like to broaden their workforce, because we place people in industry, they could contact us. And what I'd say to them is, we won't put somebody in to set them up to fail. We will only match you with a team member that will probably stay with you for life. That will take a bit of time, maybe a couple of weeks, couple of months, maybe 18 months to really start to stand on their own 2 feet. But they will succeed. And we've seen this here ourselves. We've employed people who are physically disabled, who are neurodivergent, and they bring a whole different way of thinking to the table.
Absolutely, yeah.
A whole different way of thinking to the table. They're loyal, they turn up on time, they're interested, but they also bring an energy that, you just don't have without it.
Yeah, absolutely. And how does the Accelerator program and the Empower program reflect your insights on business and social impact?
Oh, God, could you not come up with a couple of easy questions? God, Geraldine. Now, just to the people listening, before the mic was turned on, she says, oh, I'm very easygoing, relaxed. So how does it reflect my purpose? Okay, let me start here, okay? My mother was a great believer in blessings. And just to explain to people who aren't familiar what blessings are. If you do a bit of good over here, it comes back over there. Okay, my mother had great faith. Very private woman. All she ever wanted was a full fridge and people calling. Never asked to go out at night or anything. And I suppose I have a great faith myself. I'm not the best mass goer, most certainly post-COVID, that fell off. But it's a very personal faith to me. And that reflects in just helping people. Like the whole thing about helping people is, I suppose, if I just go back a small bit, is that when you get up in the morning, the first thing you got to do is love yourself. If you love yourself, love others.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's why we try and instill in the program that we run in See My Skills is about, loving yourself, and I'm rambling now. And rolling that on then, going on to the faith part, that's a big part of how I live my life and how it's reflected in See My Skills and in my own business when we're buying self-storage. It's really just back to doing the right thing every day.
Yeah.
Just doing the right thing.
So there's really a core of positivity behind everything, really.
That's a great way of putting it.
Okay. And you mentioned there earlier about Ireland's disability employment rate lags considerably behind the EU average. Should the government take more responsibility in addressing this disparity, or should the onus lie more with employers?
I think it's very easy to blame the government for anything.
It is, isn't it?
I suppose we as individuals need to take action ourselves. And what I would say to if there's anybody listening is, if you're working in an enterprise or if you're the leader in enterprise, have a look within your own organization. How divergent are your team members? If you think that it could be more divergent, more different, why not contact us? There's no pressure at all on our side. If you contact us, we will not be emailing you and contacting you every 10 minutes. We'll have a discussion with you. We'll tell you the kind of candidates we have on our books at the moment. And if it suits you, brilliant. If it doesn't, we'll work on something down the road together.
Okay.
But no, I don't blame the government for it. The government are doing quite a lot. We as individuals need to take a bit of responsibility and take action. And this isn't just an enterprise. This is in, in local charities as well. There's nothing wrong with taking on people, who are neurodivergent or have disabilities. And when you're talking about taking on, it doesn't have to be 40 hours a week. Like there's people out there who aren't capable of doing 40 hours a week because of their disability. It could be 4 hours a week. But that 4 hours a week can be meaningful in a way that we can't even understand.
For both the organisation and the person.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And what people don't realise, and I never realised myself when I got more involved, was, if you're in a wheelchair, like the amount of time in the morning that it takes to get ready is far longer than someone who's not in a wheelchair. Or if you're visually impaired, all this takes a lot longer. And as employers, we don't realise that at all.
Yeah.
It's just that you assume person starts at 8, they live 20 minutes away, they're getting out of bed at 7 and rolling in. If you're in a wheelchair or visually impaired or have a different disability, you might be up at 4 a.m. to get organised to be in for 8.
Yeah. And what are some of the significant challenges you faced in building and scaling See My Skills?
Initially, the challenge was, do we roll the dice or not?
Okay.
And my co-founder and I decided, let's go for it. The first year then was developing a program. Because as I said, we're parents, we don't have any background in education, entrepreneurs. But we said, hey, let's go for it. And we developed a 4-day program. The next challenge was finding a school that would run a pilot project with us. And we contacted Coláiste Cullen, Michelle outside there, and she was willing to go with us.
Okay.
And huge success. The next challenge, year 2, because we needed more schools, to find 10 schools. Plus, you must remember now, we needed volunteers to support us. We needed people to do mock interviews. And that fell to family and friends. So that was a challenge. The following year, we had 20 schools, more volunteers needed. But now we're running into problems because the last day is we need 20 site visits. So we need pharmaceuticals, construction companies to come on board, farms, dairies, come on board. And that became a challenge. And this year now we've 30 schools going ahead. So we need a lot more for the coming 12 months. So if there's anybody out there listening who's involved in an enterprise who would be willing to take 15 teenagers in for between 2 and 4 hours once a year and show them around, give them a bit of food. It could be pizzas brought in or
Yeah.
sitting in the canteen. We'd love to hear from you.
It can be something so small, but can, as you said, mean so much. Yeah.
Mean so much. And there I was talking about, we've gone to farms.
Yeah.
We've gone to pharmaceuticals. We've gone to construction sites. We've gone to motor dealers and newspapers. Like, it's so broad. And this is all about opening windows in these teenagers' minds about career opportunities. Because one of the things to remember is not everybody's suited for sitting inside in college.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that a career guidance teacher isn't across every single career opportunity out there. And, we all talk to our kids when they're doing the Leaving Cert is, pick something you'd love to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I was 55 when I realised what I love to do for the rest of my life.
Until I started this job, I was the same. Yeah.
See, so it can be so difficult. So going to those visits is brilliant.
Yeah.
It just opens the teenagers' minds.
Yeah.
It also brings them role models
Yeah.
into their life that they can aspire to.
Real people.
Real people. We go to a particular plant, and the head of the plant came in and he charted his highs and lows of his life for the teenagers. And when he was 15 years of age, he was pulled aside at the end of May and told, "You're one of the thickest guys in this school. We think you shouldn't come back in September." And that crushed
Oh my God.
his confidence.
Yeah.
For the next couple of years, he kind of worked on farms and got labour jobs. And in his 20s, late 20s, he's found his way back into education. He realised he wasn't stupid. He just learned differently to others.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm standing in front of you here today. I'm 47 years of age. I have 3 children. I'm married for 20 years. We've just done a tour of this plant. It's $1 billion plant. And I am the lead on this plant. I'm running it." You could hear a pen drop because so many of those young people sitting, listening to him, find the academic life very challenging.
Yeah.
Like, the Leaving Cert is designed to test you in one area. There's so many other facets to people out there. So that's why,
Okay.
there is one other challenge, and it comes back to cash.
Oh, it always comes back
Always
to cash.
back to
Yeah.
To run a program for a school is €5,000.
Gosh, yeah.
The barista training for the school for the day is €500. And as we scale and grow, we need more resources. Now, we self-fund this up to a level, and we've started looking for other sources. So if you're listening to this and you'd like to give €50, or you'd like to sponsor as an organisation or individual a barista training day, we'd love to hear it from you. Or if you'd like to donate, you'd like to sponsor one school for 5,000, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay.
Can I just say, we got a very significant donation 18 months ago from a Cork trust. Very substantial. And I met the chairperson last December, a year after we got the money. And she was saying, I was just updating her on where we were. She said, "And I noticed in your account you haven't spent any of the money." She was right. The sense of responsibility we feel, I never anticipated that. I had no problem spending money.
Yeah.
But giving me money for the social enterprise, the responsibility that that we felt as a team was incredible. And we couldn't get our head around spending it.
Yeah.
And she was great. She unlocked to kind of get rid of that blind spot, saying, "Look, this is the area you need to start looking at spending it." And we spent 500 the following week on a sign, and we've started using it since.
Well, that's a good sign. You're not taking it lightly.
Lightly. And actually, one of the greatest challenges we've had across the board from day one is developing our reputation. Because initially, people said to us, "Oh yeah, there was a guy below and whatever started that. Oh, I heard about that. Some guy in Cork started that." Like, what they were saying is, you won't last.
Yeah.
Here we are.
I know.
Heading on to 4 years later, 3 years later, and we're growing and multiplying.
Yeah.
So our reputation and guarding that reputation, Geraldine.
Yeah.
Guarding that reputation is very important, because if you give us a penny, you need to know where that's going. And as someone who's, we have all donated to charities, you're always wondering,
where is it going?
Where is it going?
Yeah.
Are the lads on the beer on a Friday evening after a program, and that's a justifiable expense? No, it's not.
No. Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. Very good. And what valuable lessons did you learn from establishing and growing William O'Brien Public Storage? that you've applied to See My Skills?
Do you know what? I suppose it's a cliche and people are going to say, oh, for God's sake, team. Without the team, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Without the team, there's absolutely nothing. We took a small crane hire business back in 2007 when the recession hit. And we grew that into basically an engineering services business. And we did projects all over the world, heavy engineering, initially in Scotland, then in Europe. Then we took that to Africa during COVID. We did projects in Australia, America, the Caribbean. That only happened because of one thing, that team in William O'Brien Crane Hire.
Yeah.
And rolling on in self-storage, it's the same here. We have an incredible team. But here, they're just not involved in self-storage. They're involved in See My Skills. So when someone doesn't turn up to do a mock interview, one of the team falls in. If there's something to be picked and dropped or done, the team are involved. So like they're all but one organization.
So the team is really important. So
Team is everything.
Okay.
Team is everything.
And how do you personally define success in the context of both the social enterprise and the for-profit enterprises that you run?
So it's easy in self-storage because in October, November, we as a team sat down, developed the goals for next year and ticked them off during the year. From a more personal point of view, it's every January if the same people are there.
Yeah.
And generally they are.
Yeah.
We have a great team and they stay with us. And I love, because it's quite a young team, I love seeing them grow during the year, take on new challenges, be it public speaking in See My Skills or taking on more responsibility in managing the business day to day, because I'm 57, the management team here is similar. We're not going to be running this business in 10, 15 years' time. So the people who are here are those who are going to grow and develop the business. So that's what I love to see.
Okay.
In See My Skills, it's changing lives. I don't want to sound like a shite here now, but like we change lives.
Yeah.
We literally, and we have seen it, where it's an individual that comes in that's been on continuous education since they finished UCC, repeated 6 month, 9 months programs, to getting off that carousel to working.
Yeah.
Working. You know? Or it's the individual, a teenager who doesn't say hello to anybody any morning and after the program starts saying good morning to the principal every day. Or it's a teenager who's extremely shy and a member of the family moves into self-storage 2 years later and say, you're part of See My Skills. Yes, I want to tell you about. And I knew straight away this particular person who they were talking about this young guy 3 weeks after the program got a part-time job and is still in that part-time job.
Gosh, yeah.
And like it's across the board. We've so many examples of changing lives.
It sounds like it really does give confidence to the people who do the programs, just to give them that little like, I can do this, you know? Yeah, you See My Skills, see me kind of thing. Yeah.
100%. 100%. It's all about building up confidence.
Yeah.
The confidence is there. We just need to strip away the bit of negativity. And it comes back to the subconscious. The subconscious is so powerful. And if you let the subconscious wander, it will see the negative.
Yeah.
It's
it's almost like stripping away kind of the disability. Like, yes, I can do this. Absolutely. Yeah.
The first day is all about empowering you to be in control of your life and positivity. And I live my life like this. So I do a bit of visualization every morning. And the program, the first day is we teach them about visualization. We teach them about meditation. And we explain that meditation isn't like Zen, like sitting there. Everybody has a monkey mind. It's only getting a split second of between each thought to calm down.
Yeah.
And we just teach them a couple of minutes during the program about meditation. We talk about positive affirmations. So we work with them on writing out positive affirmations for themselves. That, again, trains the subconscious. And then we talk about, at the end of the day, asking yourself empowering questions.
Okay.
Plus, we teach them how to set small goals to achieve large goals.
Okay.
And just one of the principals I was recently in with mentioned, says, you remember, she named off a particular student. Just every morning I see her in the atrium doing her goals for the day and ticking off the previous day's ones.
Hopefully that student will pass that on to other students. It's a good life lesson for everyone. Yeah, exactly. And what role does community play in your business philosophy?
Self-storage is a cross-section of community. And we treat our customers as our neighbours because quite often they are our neighbours. And we meet our community, our customers, at the highest and most exciting times in their life. So when there's a new baby born, they need space at home, or there's a marriage, or, they're moving into their new home, and they need space, or moving out of the old home. On the other side, we see them at the lowest levels also, when there's a death in the family, or divorce and separation, they need space.
Yeah.
And we're here to support them at both ends of it. Or it may well be at the highs, we see people who are full-time employed, have an idea for business, and they don't want to give up their full-time job. They don't want to take out a 5-year lease on a premises. So they come in and take a short-term lease with us, because all you have to commit to us is a week. And 18 months later, you see them after taking a large unit and talking about giving up their career and going full-time into their business. So that's our community.
Okay. Perfect. And what's one piece of advice you'd offer to someone considering a career path that blends business and social impact? And if someone has an idea for a social enterprise, what would be the first step you would recommend?
Very simple. Okay. First of all, you got to enjoy whatever you're thinking about doing. You've got to be passionate about it. Secondly, my father just used to say, just do it. Richard Branson wrote a book all about it. Was just feck it. Just do it.
Good, yeah. Worry
Screw
about
it.
how
I
to
think
do it
somebody
afterwards.
Screw it, just do it was his book.
Yeah.
And that's what I'd say.
Okay.
Now, if anybody has an idea and they'd like to talk it through with us, we'd love to help them. So just make contact through our website and we set up a phone call.
Perfect. Great. And how does See My Skills plan to expand its reach and influence in the coming years?
That's a great question. So when we started to See My Skills, we envisioned us going to the schools and engaging with the students. And you have one school, then you have 10 schools, and then 20 this year and 30 lined up for next year. All of a sudden, we see how labour intensive it is.
Yeah.
All the moving parts. So it's great. We're delivering it. But like next year, when we at 10 schools, that's 150 students. We want to reach 5,000 students, 10,000 students extra every year.
Yeah.
So over the next couple of months, we have a program in place to review how we're delivering the Empower program that's going to schools, and how we can embrace technology to deliver this with the same powerful impact we have to more schools all over the country. And you spoke earlier about my father and advice. My father had a great saying, start out small, but think big.
Yeah.
We started See My Skills with a global ambition of solving a problem where there was people who have disabilities and employers who are more than willing to employ people with disabilities and bring them both together. And that ambition still resonates with us. So we've started small, however, we're thinking big.
So are you going to embrace technology? Is it to try and expand the reach of it? Is it?
So we're going to explore technologies that are available out there and see how we can incorporate them. So we have a few entrepreneurs who've started their own enterprises. There was Jerry Kennelly below in had Stockbite with Jim Brien, who's Pulse Learning. Both of them have started social enterprises and embrace technology fully. So they're going to sit with us. And if there's anybody listening who'd like to help us on that journey, be giving us some strategic advice or insight on how to use it, we'd love to hear from you. And I suppose the idea is here, we sit in front of students today and talk to them, okay? How we could engage technology is one way is getting the President of Ireland to deliver, not I am the President of Ireland, blah, 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 but something that's engaging. Get personalities such as the likes of Roy Keane, like what an inspirational guy he is, okay? Bono, to deliver a message about their life, starting out and on their journey. So we get entrepreneurs, personalities, influencers to talk about their career, particularly ones that didn't find life as easy as others.
Yeah.
See?
I suppose always, but like if you can put a person in front, with a story, it's an easier sell, isn't it? Yeah.
Definitely. And if
Yeah.
we could have 50 of those stories there that a school on a particular week say, right, we're going to take a week of seeing my skills. The first day could be delivered in person, the rest of it could be using technology. And one of the gaps I see there is one of the biggest challenges that young people face going into third level is, what is an engineering course? What is engineers come to mind because they have the highest dropout rate of so many courses. Because young people don't realize that there's a huge amount of mathematics, physics in engineering courses. And one of the things we probably look at is doing videos for 11 minutes long that you have an insight into what different courses are all about from a first year's perspective, not from the college.
And if any of our listeners want to volunteer with See My Skills, how do they contact you and your team?
So through the website. And thank you so much, because I would be in the height of trouble with a certain lady that will remain nameless, who was a co-founder with me, if I didn't bring this up. Volunteers. Oh my God, it's a challenge constantly. And to all the people who volunteered, great. And if you can wash a cup, we have a space for you.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about there is during the program, there's teas and coffees being made. We just need someone with us to keep it clean, keep the canteen clean.
It might not necessarily be like a big, 20 hours a week. It might be just a few hours.
We're doing programs in Band in West Cork. If you live in those areas, just contact us. We do it in Fermoy and Coachford, and we're going down to Macroom. All these schools are coming in. We need people just to come wash cups. And if you'll do it once for us, that's brilliant. If you'll be willing to do a couple of schools for us, even better again. Mock interviews. How many talented people are sitting at home listening to this going, I could do a mock interview.
Yeah.
There'll be two people. If you've never been on if you've never interviewed someone, don't worry. If you've been interviewed, if you're sitting at home and you're a mum listening to this, hell, you're more than qualified to do it.
Yeah.
So we're looking for volunteers there across the board, and businesses as well to come in and offer up their facility.
Every little helps.
Every little helps.
Well, thank you so much, William, for taking the time to chat to us on Cork Creative. If you want to find out more about William and See My Skills, you can find out more on corkcreative.ie.
Jordine, you're a rock star. I love your energy. Honestly, no, it's been a pleasure chatting to you.
Thanks, William. Thank you.